Hi.
I'm Nana. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My name is Simran, or you can call me Sim if it's too hard for you.
Perfect. So how's your morning been so far?
It's been good. It's been quite productive. I'm like a morning type of person, so I like to get my, workouts done and my runs done early in the morning, and then, gives me a good start to the day. So it's been good, yeah.
Same. I like to get my workout done in the morning. I have to get a workout done before I
Yeah.
come into work. Clears my head,
Yeah, it
refreshes my
is.
mind.
Yeah,
Good
especially when
start
it's
to the-
stressful times, it's like really good to,
Exactly.
get it out of your system, yeah.
Exactly. It's a good start to the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you find getting
It was alright. I mean, like with the construction going on and all that, I thought like I'd rather not drive.
here? Yeah.
So I just called the metro and yeah.
Oh, the
I'll be
new
pretty
metro.
quickly, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
How's that?
It's really, I think it's quite cool. Like,
Mhm.
because Australia doesn't I've never seen a metro before.
Yeah.
So just traveling with it, it's like nice and it's convenient.
Yeah.
Obviously, at first there were like some, when it was first starting, there were some technical difficulties. But now I think they're like really
They
managed the
fixed
whole.
it?
Yeah, they've managed the
Yeah.
whole process.
I haven't
so-
really gotten a chance to go now. I
Oh,
drive around
really?
everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I like to drive, but I feel like sometimes getting public transportation is quite convenient. So you should
Yeah.
really check it out. It's pretty cool.
I should, yeah. It's
Yeah.
hard finding parking everywhere. Public transport is
Exactly,
good
yeah.
sometimes. It takes
Yeah.
a bit longer, but
Yeah, there is quite a lot of construction around your building, so I think it might be really convenient.
there is, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people find it hard to get here, or like it in the
Yeah,
corner of the
yeah,
street.
yeah.
It's like it's hard to find.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, before we get into everything, I'll just explain to you the purpose of today's interview. So basically, it allows you to tell me your story and raise any concerns you have, so
Right.
then we can decide what's best for you
Yeah.
in your best interest. Happy with that?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Okay, great. So I'll just go over the confidentiality rules. So basically, it just means anything you tell me, I'm not allowed to discuss with anyone else.
Alright.
That's including my co-workers and any of your family members.
Yeah.
So you can have full confidence in me that I won't be telling anyone anything that you tell me today.
Alright,
Yeah.
okay. Alright. Thank you.
You happy
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I was
great.
just like really nervous to get it covered today.
Yeah,
so I
no,
was
you
like,
can be comfortable here.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. If any time you're feeling uncomfortable or you're not happy with our service, just raise your voice, tell
Yeah.
me, and
Yeah, no
we'll
worries.
figure it
Thanks
out.
for letting me know. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions before we start?
No, not that I know of. I think
Yeah?
you cleared everything. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, what brought you here today?
So, the reason I'm here today is because about 2 weeks ago, I was arrested and charged with the possession of drugs. Like, my boyfriend and I, we decided to go to Byron Bay for, music festivals, like a time to just relax and take a break from, we both are full-time uni students. And so, just take a break and, be with friends and spend time with each other. But then there was, a police raid at the music festival, which is quite normal sometimes
Right.
because there are a lot of people there as well. So, but there were dogs everywhere as well with the police, and, the dogs particularly came to me and started sniffing, and the police officer found some drugs in my pocket. And
Right.
at that time, I was completely shocked. They weren't mine. I kept on denying, I didn't know where they came from, and there were quite a lot of people at the music festival. So I just thought, I tried to explain to them someone might have just slipped into my pockets, but they were really adamant. They arrested me immediately and took me to the police station. I was really scared and nervous. I was by myself. My boyfriend wasn't with me, so it was just really bad. And then they questioned me again, whose drugs are these, where'd you get them from, what was the purpose of them, and I was really scared, and I kept on telling them they're not mine. I was genuinely telling the truth because they weren't mine, and
Right.
I had no knowledge of them, but they started threatening me. They started saying that I was being uncooperative, and they threatened me saying things like, "Oh, we'll lock you up overnight. You have to stay here." And at that time, I got really nervous because I thought I might have to stay overnight here. But there were a lot of arrests that day, so they allowed me to go home, but they still charged me, and they gave me, I think it's the court attendance notice.
The court attendance.
Yeah,
notice, right.
They gave me that, and that's why I'm here to see you today, because of all of that situation. I've never really confronted the police like that, so
Right.
I'm quite scared. Yeah.
So you mentioned that the drugs weren't yours. Do you know how they got into your pocket?
Well, later on, I did find out that because I do live with my partner.
Right.
And when I got home, he told me that the drugs were his, and that, you know, he put them in my pocket when he saw the police approaching.
Okay.
So he just, obviously, that is why I want to plead guilty, and also because I want to avoid all that court proceedings and things like that. Just, you know, plead guilty and get it over and done with, save us both from the hassle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your boyfriend, what's your relationship with him like?
Like our relationship, I would say it's really good.
Yeah.
Like I really do care about him, and that's why I'm willing to take this, like, you know, plead guilty for this, something that I haven't done. And also, he is you know, he's in his last years of studying law, and he has a clerkship with a quite high profile law firm. So because I care about him, and because, like, you know, I don't want anything bad to happen for his reputation as a lawyer in the future, I just think that it's better if I just take it. So yeah.
Okay. So to my understanding, your main concern is that you don't want to involve your boyfriend because obviously it'll have an impact on his work. That's why you want to completely keep him out of this?
Yeah, and also, like, my boyfriend does come from quite a high-profile family, so their, you know, family is quite prominent in society, and I don't want him to have a bad be in sort of a bad media, like, or negative, any of that thing happening to him. I do live with my boyfriend, and like I live, and his family does pay for my tuition, for my university fees. So, and they don't particularly like me, so it's very important that I make a good impression on them and show them that I really do care about him. So protecting him is the best way for me to repay them in any way possible, if that makes sense.
Right. So you mentioned that your boyfriend's family don't particularly like you. Do you want to explain the relationship between you and your boyfriend's family?
Well, like, yes, my boyfriend's family doesn't particularly like me, and then they have their own reasons, and there is something else, but I'm just hesitant to share that.
No, so like I mentioned earlier, it's fully confidential, so you can have your confidence in me that I won't be sharing this information with anyone else.
Okay, so recently my boyfriend's father is being investigated by the ICAC, and he's facing like corruption charges for his time as a politician.
Right.
So as I did say, that, you know, his family is in the media's radar at the moment, that any sort of negative attention on my boyfriend will really like blow things out of proportion, and I really don't want that from him, nor do I want that for his family. And you know, because they are doing quite a lot for me, you know, letting me live for free, paying for my tuition fees. So it's, I think, pleading guilty and just taking this charge on my record, because you can't really do anything to me. I'm just a commoner. I'm not in the media spotlight in any way. So I just think that it's safer and more convenient for the whole family, including my boyfriend, and for me just to take that on my record.
Right. So do you feel like you owe something to your boyfriend by taking this guilty plea?
I feel like I do really, like, you know, I do care for him, and I have his best interests at heart. So, and he's done so much for me. So this is like the least possible thing that I could perhaps do. You know, I can't obviously pay back with money or anything like that, but this is my way of showing, you know, that I'm really grateful to have him in my life, and to show his family as well that I'm really like committed.